when you think traveler, you don't think about a casual. You think about somebody, they're always on a plane, they're going somewhere, they're seeing interesting things, cameras. And this is what I get when I look at, No Limit Eddie, traveling 4 years, 25 now, been to 4 countries in Africa. A lot of good, has promoted on his channel for years, how wonderful it is. But we want to get into some of the bad, some of the stuff that you better be ready for. And I think what we have to start doing is realizing that if we're talking about leaving America, there are things here that we don't like. As much as we might say, yes, these things are developed, these things are in place, we already know we're dealing with things that make us uncomfortable as black men and women. And so, no, we're not coming from a perfect place, is the point.
Clearly not.
So it's always a matter of weighing out the pros and cons. But Eddie, talk to lay out for someone who's making a plan to get to Africa, get to Egypt specifically over the next year or two, because the cost of living is low. They can go and they can have a beautiful apartment for $500 US a month. They can live good. If they're only making 1,500, 2,000 a month, they can live comfortably. But tell us, what may be some culture shocks to them? What may be some things that have them, on the edge of the bed at night contemplating going home?
Okay, got you. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? I almost feel like most people are not ready to live outside of America, right? And so I say this because America is a culture more than it is a land. It's a culture. And so if you're kind of in that system, it's very hard to unplug from that system. And so I had a lot of success being in Africa because I didn't watch football. I didn't watch basketball. I wasn't keeping up with the Kardashians. I wasn't so ingrained. Well, I'm so serious. I wasn't so ingrained in American culture. And so what I do here is the same thing I was doing in the States, right? Just reading, focus, working, and so that's the thing. So some culture shocks we're gonna run into is like, yo, people are not gonna speak your language. In a lot of countries you go to, if you're coming to Egypt in particular, they're gonna speak Arabic, right? And so you gotta know that it's a Muslim country, and so you might be asleep, and next thing you know, you're gonna hear somebody singing over a loudspeaker. You know what I mean? You're gonna wake up to that a few nights, because the mosque are gonna do their prayer calls at sunrise, right? So sometimes it's 4 in the morning, sometimes it's 5 in the morning, right? So you gotta, kind of be used to that. You're also gonna be seeing like, especially in Egypt, they have this thing called Eid, and they're gonna like slaughter sheep and goats, and so you're gonna drive by, you're gonna see legs of animals on a road, like what the heck is this, right? And so there's all kind of stuff that is definitely going to be shocking to the average person coming from America over to Egypt, right? And so those are some of the big things I would say are the shocks or the culture shocks people may experience or expect when going to Egypt, for sure.
Do you feel? I remember I was in Dubai and heard somebody telling me, a black man telling me that he felt more like a full black man there because he didn't feel like the same pressures, the same fears, even if you will, of like law enforcement, things like that. What's your experience as far as feeling complete as a black man living in Egypt or on the continent of Africa as opposed to the United States?
Yeah. So I would just use the word free. I feel free here, right? Like I can be myself 100% of the time and be okay, right? And so in America, like you do have the fear of everyone for the most part because you got gangs that are black that want to kill you. You got white people that want to kill you. You got the police that want to kill you. You got the food industry that want to kill you. The medical industry want to kill you.
Right.
So this enemy. You got to be on your
fear of
P's.
everybody. You're all against me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I can feel at times.
Yes, that's a
and
fact.
So to be in Africa, right, is freeing. Okay, so let's say, for example, maybe your hair is not cut. You don't have a haircut. You can walk outside. Everybody black. They understand what it looks like when your hair is not cut. So you're not gonna get judged, or you're not gonna get like those weird stares or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just different. The culture is just different to where you can be yourself 100% of the time and not feel judged for basically being yourself.